Wonderful. Thank you, Sean. Happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome to our special quarterly open forum, which anything goes. We will, in these forums, we'd like to share ideas. If there's any questions that I could answer or any of our members, we welcome that. And basically, again, it's something that maybe you want to ask questions or you had some observations but never got a chance to do it. So with that in mind, I'll open the forum. I'll if anyone has any experiences, any questions, please go ahead. And as I said, a lot of our members are traveling right now, but I'm sure they will be interested in the recording, and we might see them on Saturday. So um, go ahead. Anyone wants to start? Anyone wants to? Uh, any any questions or any experiences they want to share? I will definitely love to hear it.
Well, I mean, I'll start.
Please, Mark.
I'll just share what I've been doing because
Excellent.
it's been a year since yeah, it's about a year since I've started, and what I've really found, I mainly, as most people know, I mainly trade options, and what I've settled on like 4 or 5 different strategies that seem to be working, and so I mean, if people would be interested, I normally do the gap. If there's a gap play on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, I normally do it. I was too late to get into it today because it moves so quickly, and that's one of the things I've learned is when you're doing something like the gap play, a lot of days if you probably just want to execute your trade at market rather than limit, because if you wait for that limit price, you miss it. And
Excellent.
as we saw the move today, it would have been a very, very profitable day. Jean-Claude and I were just kicking ourselves. I think Lucas, you're on the phone with us as well, on Discord with us. So it was a bit upsetting not to make a nice little profit today. But that's playing the gap play on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays has been real successful. The expected move has been great. I mean, I've been doing the expected move on the SPY for the last 5 or 6 weeks, and it pays off every single week. So it's a very simple strategy. And then the two strategies that I really like, that I've sort of studied the last maybe 2 months, is doing diagonals. So you using a long call and selling short calls against it. I don't know whether I've just been lucky or I sort of know what I'm doing, but um, that's been successful for me, and I've had pretty good success doing covered calls. That's just like an income generator. So, I mean, my experience has been every week I learn something. Um, One of the things I do when I look at to play verticals, I look at the squeeze play, and then I take these stocks that Ramin shares with us on Saturdays, delve into them, and normally sell puts or calls depending on which way the squeeze is moving, and that's been pretty successful. So for me, there's so many things you can learn, but I've sort of settled on 3 or 4 different things. So, the gap play is a daily thing. I do verticals on a bi-weekly and a 2 weekly basis, and then for more longer terms, I've been doing the diagonals and covered calls. So, Ramin, it's been a journey. Um, I haven't lost money, but I've made money, and all I can remember is when I lose, but I forget I win a lot. So
Yeah.
it's been a lot of fun, and it's been really fun the last like 2 or 3 weeks. Well, actually, since Jean Claude and I were on Discord together, and Lucas has joined us, and Dan, when he can get in, has been using Discord. So it's nice to have the community. And, in my bedroom in Baltimore. Jean Claude lives in his bedroom in Irvine, and Lucas is there. So, but it's just nice to bounce ideas off each other, and share trades, which has been that's been the real fun thing the last since the llast time we chatted 3 or 4 months ago. So that's really been my experience where I'm having fun. I'm learning every day. So thanks, Ramin, and thanks everybody.
Thank you, Martin. I'll start first, and I love to hear others' reaction. I totally agree with a lot of things that you said, and I confirm that. And just a few observations, as you said. Number one, I started with the gap play, and like you said, with the way that you do the SPY play, especially in the options. I know in the futures, there's no limit. I mean, in futures, because you're so liquid, I go in the market. And one of the reasons you've chosen the SPY is because it's just so liquid. The spread is like 1 penny or 2 pennies. And the movement is so fast that you don't care. You want to go in the market. And the old saying is, I know Lucas and Max, they got me this mug. And I repeat that, don't be a dick for a tick. And it really means it when you do, and it's worthwhile remembering. The other thing, I also agree, Martin, that we emphasize, and I like to do that. I know there's just so much knowledge out there. There's just so much information out there. But you really want to be good at just a few strategies and master them, and for specific, and that's all you need. The same thing with like indicators, technical analysis. You don't have to know the whole thing, just know a few of them, the confirmation. So I agree with you. I think if it works, why break it? And the last thing is, I think the most important is the community, the way it has developed. It has been, I think I just noticed today, I saw part of the, the communication. It's such an intelligent community, and I hope more people will join. Is the conversation is, who needs CNBC or Bloomberg? Because this is like real life thing. It's a real trades, sharing your ideas. And as I mentioned, it's a very trading wise. It's full of wisdom, and it's also, intelligent conversation, but also real. So I think it would be nice to have more people join. Obviously, we have a very small community. We haven't opened up yet, but eventually that would be a wonderful thing to have. So I really appreciate it, Martin. I'm so glad things are working out, and they will continue. I think the way the markets are, I believe we will see this, the movements in the markets should be profitable for the next at least couple of months. So it's a summer doldrum supposedly, but we'll see. But anyway, I'd like to hear other comments in regards to Martin, and then any questions, any again observations. That would be great. So
for the gap play, do you put in your stop orders immediately after you?
Martin, let Martin answer, and I'll tell you what I do. But yeah,
I mean, I don't, because I'm sitting here watching it, Henry. But my general rule of thumb is when I do the gap play, if I lose 50%, then I just get out. But because I'm sitting here and I'm not doing futures, I'm actually doing the SPY. I just watch it. I mean, I would say that 90% of the time, if you get into it, just once you get the indicator either up or down around like 9:45, 10 to 10, the whole thing's over by 10:30. It's amazing how
it's East Coast time, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, the East Coast. It's just amazing how in that first hour the either half a gap or the full gap gets filled. So because I'm sat here, I don't take the time. I mean, I really should, but because it's so liquid, I'm just going to sell it at market when either close it out at market when I decide to. So.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to add some. Absolutely, I think what happens, Henry. Usually these gap plays, again, as Martin mentioned, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, they are very, probability-wise. They usually get filled 80, 82% of the time. The half a gap even gets more so. And it's kind of, it's all about, again, the probability game. So I don't do options, I do actual futures. And for me, let's say if it goes the wrong way, so what I have is 2 points, but basically it's like $100 per contract. So if it goes, I'm willing to pay $100 a contract. So I have 4, I'm willing to lose $400 or if things are not going my way. So, but usually like the way we've worked with the gaps, and I know like Martin does, we get that confirmation through candle. And again, once it starts moving, I mean, today was amazing. Once we got the confirmation, like Martin said, it was not even timed. It was like 4 or 5 minute candles. They just like a waterfall.
Yeah.
And they went all the way down. They filled the gap. They went a little lower to the support of like about 4 or 5 days ago, and they bounced back. And those bounce backs also could be your next trade if you like to continue, because it was early enough. You could have done, which I would review on Saturday. What I didn't do it, but what I would have suggested to do, as far as to have your second trade. And basically that works, and we use like Fibonacci for that. So but normally, again, the gaps are pretty lucrative, especially if there's nice enough that your options pay off very well. So
yeah, I mean, for example, Henry, the half gap fill today, that would have been 100% profit on your money. So like Jean-Claude and I, we wanted to buy we were buying the 109 put, and by the time we put our order in, it was dropping, and it dropped all the way to where we could have sold it for 220. That's where the half gap was, and then the full gap was at 270. So it would have been a real profitable day, but it was one of those things, Ramin, is that I was so annoyed not to buy it at 109. I didn't want to pay 120, and I should have just paid 120 because I was still going to make an extra dollar, but there we go.
Right. No, I mean, the other thing is, Martin, when you get that confirmation, usually it continues, and you will see the candle. Once it's reversed, then that's fine. But yeah, it was, all the CPI numbers came, and, all the other things. And it was a big change in all the markets. You could see the gold and bonds and everything just reversed. It was interesting, fun, kind of a momentum changing to watch the markets today. So anyway, I hope that answered your question, Henry. Is that?
It does. I'm assuming that you're buying options that are expiring soon, right? Because
yeah. So Henry, I bought I bought tomorrow's options. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So what happens, Henry? And that's another reason we use SPY, because spiders, they have option expiration 3 times a week. So they have it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So let's say you want to play Wednesday's option. Remember that theta plays a role. So, extrinsic value. So let's say you're doing Wednesday's option, you can do Wednesday's, expiration. So you don't have to pay too much. It almost becomes like futures. There's not much really extrinsic value. So that's the beauty of SPY. So you can play 3 times a week, and that's the beauty of the again, the spider gap. So
I haven't done gaps because I just wasn't able to wake up early enough.
oh, okay. Oh, that's a good.
But
yeah,
I'm wondering if something like a gap play can be automated easily. So
yeah, I mean, all these years, what I've done, I've been more of a, again, discretionary. I like to, especially with gaps, sometimes they move so fast. But yeah, you could. The problem is you have to have the confirmation. When we talked about our gap class, we had 3 types of, initiating the trade. So I like to have confirmation. Some people, they just, as soon as there's a gap, maybe that will be a system, they just buy it. If there's a gap, either they buy or sell. But I like to have the confirmation, because that it could be a professional gap, we call. That means it can continue with the momentum. So you could stop out very shortly. So it's up to you if you want to, if you want to play that system. But I like to have a candle confirmation. So
I used to play that system when there was a gap. I would play it, and otherwise, but now what I've done is I wait for either a 2-candle confirmation. I look at the stochastics, then the MACD if it's crossing, and I look at the volume of the ticks and which way the ticks are moving. So they're my sort of confirmation points. Yeah, and what I found is, like you say, sometimes when I would just buy the gap just because it was a gap, it was a bad decision. So now I take my 2 or 3 indicators, and that makes me that gets me in the game.
excellent. Right. Good.
Martin, did you see the gold trade today?
I did not do the gold trade today. I didn't like gold. Gold kept on moving up, and I was looking for I was looking at a place to buy in. I just didn't feel good. Ramin, did you? I know you probably did it because it's your. Oh, you were flying. Did you?
Yeah, I mean, it was not a lot of confirmation, Martin, but as you know, because of the system, I do it. But the thing is, you have to remember the actual the idea came. It was supposed to be bought at 12.59 and sold at 12.59 the next day. That's the trade. But over the years, I've looked at things and I've become more discretionary. So I choose, like today I bought it around 9 o'clock. And I mean, I got hit the first 2 positions were filled within the next 2 or 3 hours. So it worked out, but I didn't buy many. I like to have a minimum of 5 and I would go up to 20, but it just didn't feel comfortable. But because I'm committed, I know this is my trade, I will do it. And I stick with it. So it's, again, if it works 8 out of 10, that's not a bad trade. So I did do it, but I didn't go aggressive. So, and I still have 3 contracts left for tomorrow. So we don't know what's going to happen. It was a weird opening. Again, gold went completely down. The bonds went up. I mean, the markets went up, and then everything reversed. The financials, and we'll discuss it more on Saturday. But so as you know, I mean, I still played. So we'll see what happens in the morning. I'm out of 2 of them, so we'll see.
Romina had a question.
Please look.
So I'm currently looking at BABA right now, and I could see on the implied volatility graph that the implied volatility is pretty low compared to the past, I would say, year. It's the lowest point it's been, but it's not in a squeeze. So it is consolidating a little bit though. So would you say it would be a good time to do something like a straddle if it's not in a squeeze, but the implied volatility is very low?
What month are you looking at on BABA? What, I mean, option as a whole?
So I have the implied volatility graph. You know how it's like the linear graph under the chart?
Right. Okay. Because what I see, so remember, I have a couple of rules. What I like to do is, I mean, I can see June 18th, the implied volatility, what I have is like 54%. So I have to double check to see if there's any earnings coming up or what it is. So it's pretty, and then it drops to 27.9, which the historical volatility is like 33%. So that tells us, like you just said, the volatility is, it's pretty low for next few expiration up to August 20th. So, but in a short run though, there's something going on. I mean, believe it or not, the expected move for just next week is $13.49. That's pretty big expected move, Lucas. So I would be a little cautious with that. I mean, the way it looks like, maybe diagonal might be interesting to play on Baba. Even a calendar you can do.
Right.
So I would maybe,
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
no, I was just going to say maybe by July 16th, and then sell next week's June 18th. Let me look at the chart. I got my trade station open, and
It's also
yeah.
getting, so it's a 52-week low. Like it's what, 100,
It's very close to that. Yeah. So it is. Obviously, you know, there's a lot of news, and maybe Sean, do you play Baba at all?
No.
No. Okay. Because of, again, you know, the whole with the Chinese government and the control, and then the the wealth tax and all that. So I see the 210 is pretty yeah, it's very close to 52 weeks. I don't have any confirmation to go long, Lucas, at this time. The only thing I would suggest, though, like basically you suggested with the volatility, it would be more of a, maybe again, a diagonal or calendar you can do. That might be a play. Straddle, it might be expensive unless, again, we do it July. I think maybe we can do July. So I don't know how much of a price is put in that. So, but it might be a good idea to sell the short one. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, I just said for Baba, I didn't see a higher low or a higher high. I mean,
Yeah.
it's still going on the downtrend.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want to do. You want to bet it's turning up, or what would be your bet?
No, I
was-
think he's playing just, if I'm sorry, Lucas, I think it's more of an implied volatility,
Yeah.
volatility. So
Crash?
the crush in the short term, but expansion in the long term.
Oh, okay.
The thing is, because what I see, the historical volatility is like 32%, and the volatility for July is 20. I'm losing my trade station. Is 28% for July 16th, or 26%. So basically, it's lower than historical volatility. But next 2 weeks, or no, I mean tomorrow and next week is it's pretty high. It's 54%,
Mm.
and it has a 13. I mean, that's a big move, expected move. So I got to do some investigation what's coming up, as far as, maybe I'll do that.
Yeah.
Lucas, is that helpful? I'm just gonna look at it.
Yeah. I mean, I was just wondering because the implied volatility percentile is at 0%. You know, so
Yeah, don't put. Yeah. That's. Let me actually, since again I'm in the office, so let me look at the implied volatility chart. So. Bear with me. And you want to do straddle? Is that?
well, the whole idea is just expansion of implied volatility, and also I looked at it on the 1 hour/30 minute time frame. It looks like it's trying to break this kind of like counter trend line. If you guys look on the 1 hour or like 30 minute.
Yeah, I'm looking at. Yeah, it is still, the bias is to the downside. I'm looking at the implied volatility is, yeah, it's pretty low at 29. This is the old implied volatility, so it's below average right now. So yeah, I mean, that could be a play. It has been below average since it's almost a month now. So because of indecision, but there's a lot of overhead resistance on this as far as the Bollinger Bands is 100-day resist. I mean 50-day resistance. It's pretty negative right now. We're getting very close to the support at around 206 or so. So maybe that's when you can look at it. As I mentioned, unless we do again a diagonal on this, if you feel positive, you think it's gonna change. But stochastics is pointing down. The MACD is trying to cross to the negative. And I'm looking at even put call ratio is pretty average, right? It's average of it's last 50 moving average is just not too much, not too little. So yeah, it doesn't give me much comfort, Lucas, at this time. Yes, Sean.
Baba is going to actually get into the self-driving truck.
Okay.
Field. I think it just announced yesterday or today. I think it's maybe last night. It's announced it's going into that field to develop R&D some self-driving truck, and they named that Little Stubborn Donkey.
Little Stubborn Donkey.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Well, okay. Because I know is it XPV, XPEV? That's more of a scooters, right? It's not. Oh no, that is a truck as well, right? Because NIU is a scooter and motorcycle, NIU, and then XPEV I thought is a truck. So, but there's not much. I mean, there's not much movement on the last few days, nothing. So it is maybe, again, the Bollinger Bands, I can see they're narrowing, Lucas. The Bollinger Bands are, so it's getting close to that, like you said, the squeeze. So, and the volatility has been lower than average. But as far as direction, I don't know. So maybe it is something with the straddle or maybe even the strangle. You can use the Bollinger Bands, but we are just getting narrowed on it. And the candles are very narrow. When I look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, past 7 days, the bodies are very small with no wicks. So that's indecision, but it could be, like you said, it could be something happening. So.
You guys want to share your screen? I mean, you can feel free to share a screen. Even multiple screens, yeah.
Okay. Well, the problem is, I'm using it's a multiple monitor. I'm using my laptop for video, but just hold on. Let me see if that's Bob. If I can look at the squeeze daily.
On the weekly, it broke below the 20-week moving average.
Bob, I don't see that. I see the Keltner. I mean, it isn't still not squeezed on a weekly, and on a daily, it's trying to go into squeeze. But let me, you know what? Let me go back to my the one I was looking at. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to share my screen. So maybe that. I'm gonna move my camera. Okay, so let's see if this works.
That's high tech.
Okay, so let's see. Let me open this. Okay, so instead of going which way I'm going. Okay, can you see the Bollinger Bands? Is that clear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you can see Bollinger Bands are coming together. MACD is trying to cross. And then I'm going down. That's the stochastics. So this is the one right underneath. You can see right there. Do you see the red line and the blue line is, it says 29.07. So that's the volatility. And that's what I think Lucas is talking about, which is below average. But the accumulation, I'm looking at the accumulation distribution is pretty negative still. So that's the red line. It's just pure red. So, and but you can see how narrow it has become. We are under 100, 50-day moving average of 100. Basically, not close to the. We're getting close to the lower Bollinger Band. But the question I have is, you can see the candles. They're pretty small candles. So that's telling us something is brewing. So either way. Is that good, Sean? Is that helpful?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's not that you want to see me, but just it's easier. I cannot hold my arm too. But yeah, that's good. I haven't looked at the Thinkorswim one, but I will take a look at it. Maybe have a case study on it for Saturday, Lucas.
Okay.
Maybe we can look at like a stock of the week or something. So,
Sounds good.
since it's open forum, so let me get the feedback as far as like having like the stock of the week or the trade of the week. Is that something helpful? Does that, again, my goal is not giving you like tips on the stock, but actual the mechanics of it. How do I look at it? Is that good on a weekly basis?
Yeah, real life examples are always good, I think.
Okay. Because I decided, and I talked to Martin about it, to shorten more of the charts that we do on the market analysis, to reduce the charts and maybe spend more time on the lesson of the week and trade of the week using, again, ETFs. Eventually it will be good to do like even futures market sometime. I used to do analysis and the options, for instance, option analysis of a day or something. So basically, like a real live examples. That's what I thought we can add to. Any other suggestions? I'll be happy to. I'm trying to reduce the hours of the time. It's just, I'm doing my best. I'm trying to go from like 80 slides to go to 70. It's just difficult because I don't want to have shortcuts either, So that's a challenge that I have right now. But any suggestions are welcome. So.
I mean, I think what I'd like to see, what I would like is like when you go into a trade, if you explain your rationale for a trade, like if you were buying, I don't know, let's say you were buying leaps in silver, for example, explain why you think buying leaps in silver is good, what indicators you look at, and what indicators you're looking at, and what's your underlying thoughts behind getting into an options trade. That, because like I'm, when I do I've got my ideas why I'm doing something, but it would be nice to understand, your process. I mean, even how do you pick out candidates? Like, there's 1,001 stocks and shares and ETFs. How do you even get to first pick the candidate? So that for me would be interesting.
Okay. I mean, that's what I thought. I mean, like last week when we did like the EHang, right? Like EH, and we did the Sky, and the idea was more of a basically positive. We try to use that the technical analysis, but also the timing of the things, and then basically like EH, what we want to go. If you are positive about it, then it's up to you. You want to do long calls or you want to do vertical calls on it, and like a debit call, verticals, or so I just want to show you, like, again, want to come up with a candidate first and then what I would do. And then the trade of the week, that's what I tried, but that's fine. Yeah, we'll do more of that. So more of an analysis of the trade, I would call. So again, because the past is past, so I've already done that. So when the future comes, I don't, basically it's my analysis, and I'm just telling you this is the candidate, this is what I would do. I haven't done it yet, so I probably will do it on Monday.
That would be very interesting to me.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't recommend anything to us, but if you say this is what I'm thinking about doing on Monday, or this is what I might do, that might be interesting.
Okay. I just wanted to get it out of my mouth, Martin. Okay. All this disclosures go out the window. So anyway, I was hoping the 15th of the month I will be out of the woods, but doesn't look like it. Anyway, all right. Any other questions or comments?
Romeen, I just wanted to share something.
Yes,
So
of course.
I'm currently looking at on Finviz for the insider tradings. Looks like the director of Google just sold $34 million worth of shares. Just wanted to share that with you guys.
Okay.
So do you think that would be, enough amount of shares to push Google down, and how much will it push it down, you think?
So a couple of things about selling, insider selling, that is you have to take it into consideration. So I'm glad you brought that up. So I emphasize, majority of time, my emphasis on insiders is on the buying side, because it takes a real action in open market. And usually if they are buying, they're committed themselves. When you see these selling options, sometimes they get these generous packages, and sometimes it's a tax playing. So they probably, if it's just a bonus or something, again, it's a part of the package. So today, Google hit almost all-time high. So it is something that they take that into consideration. So it's not because they think Google is overvalued. It's more of a money management. They think, hey, I want to take some money off the table. So I don't put a lot of emphasis. I can see that. Are you talking about brain surgery, right? Co-owner. So you can see he's done quite few, and at 2480, 2406, yeah.
And also Paige Lawrence.
Yeah, Paige Lawrence. The other thing is I also put emphasis in more of I like to have, the directors are not my favorite people, or the even 10% owner. I usually like to see more active management, such as the senior vice president. The CFO is my absolute must. So I follow the CFOs a lot. So I want to see them. But you can see there's quite a bit of sale. And it looks like, as I said, they probably had such a low cost that they see. I mean, look at Google. I mean, it's been flying. And I mean, it's a nice chart, actually. I mean, it went from April, it went from 2000, we are 2,500 right now. So that's very nice move. So, but it's good to remember. I mean, I did an example a year ago, I think on a year and a few months before that when Jeff Bezos sold how many billions? And usually that was right before the big crash, in March. So I don't know how timely that was, but it's so sometimes, things like that happen. But on this one, I'm looking at, there's quite few. Nobody wants to buy. And very few people, they get so many option bonuses that they all get it. So they, yeah, I mean, they've been selling since it was like 1922. So, and here it is at 2,500. But it's good to know. I mean, I agree with you, Lucas, that we want to be on the look just in case if there is this common ground. If you saw the selling in this at the same time, let's say Amazon, and we see Facebook, and a lot of insiders are selling close the same time. And this was done on June 8th, for instance, June 7th. So we want to do more investigation, Lucas. We want to see, as I said, some of the other FANG stocks, what they're doing. So that would be a good research. But again, I'd rather be more of a look for the buyers. It gives you a better, indication of what they're thinking than just the sellers. It could be they had to fly to Miami and get a passport, except they had to pay like 34 million because they want to buy a yacht when they're in Miami. So that could have been the reason. But anyway, each one has its own purpose. So, but yeah, but I appreciate that. That's really good site to look for these things.
Yep.
But the chart of Google looks really nice. My God, bro. Last year, it's a pretty good chart from 9,000 to 2,500. Yeah. I'm talking about self-driving and all that too. So anyway, okay. Any other questions or comments? And I know a few people who are absent, they would love to have a recording too. I'm sure they will find it interesting. Okay, nothing. Sean, do you have anything to add? Anything you can say?
No, I don't have specific things. I can also, share how I look at the charts. But
Yeah.
maybe you guys already see. This is I'm sharing my screen. You can pin my photo so you can get the enlarged. Basically, yeah, if you pin me, I will be the main page. In this way, we can all share screens actually.
Yeah, perfect. Okay,
yeah.
Can you?
So what I see, I see more, it's like a channel. And recently, like you said, once getting into 2021, it's getting in the upper half. So that indicates it's pretty strong. And now it's at the, record high. I will not short it at this time.
Sean,
so,
I'm not seeing anything. Sorry, am I the only one? Is that everyone seeing?
No, Sean, we can't see.
I pinned you, and I don't see anything.
Oh, you can't see? Okay.
No.
Let me change the way I share so you can all see. Okay. Wait.
Because you're the host, right? So you can.
Yeah, I made it a multiple sharing so everybody can see, but that does not automatically enlarge what I share. But let's see. We'll stop others sharing. Okay, that's fine. Now you can see, right?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, now you can see.
Thanks.
So no problem. Yeah, I basically I see this channels there.
Yeah.
It's pretty. What I said is previously it's in the lower half, and after we get into 2001, it's getting into the upper half, and now it's all-time high.
Yeah.
It's pretty strong, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe not in it, but it definitely, I say it's accelerating. Say this trend, it's getting the slope is getting, you know, more and more vertical. So I will be worried if you're like a medium term or long term, you can get some of the profits taken along the way. But if you are playing like swing or short term, I don't think it's a time to short. That's just what I thought.
No, I agree. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's very strong,
Yeah, and
a
then
strong
back,
chart. It's a beautiful chart, actually.
yeah,
So,
back to Baba.
yeah,
I did say this triangle. It's at the you know, apex there. It's
yes,
so close. Something would happen. As you said, the also the Bollinger Band is narrowing, so it's at you know, this corner. It has nowhere to go. It has to choose either up or down, and it has a very strong supporting level there. So I don't know.
yeah,
Probably that's why people are having a lot of implied volatility at this time, because you know, it will determine which way to go, and once it determines, it could be a big move.
no, that's absolutely. And again, you can see that's the reason the candles got really narrow and narrow. It's really getting squeezed in here. So basically in the apex. But yeah, no, I appreciate that, Sean. Yeah, you can see the trend lines clearly.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
just you know, my 2 cents.
yeah.
Otherwise, I don't have you know, special things. Yeah.
Any comments on the Bitcoin? Would you be buyer at this stage, Sean?
Well, I always be, when it's getting down, I always you know, load a little bit more.
Okay.
And when it's up to, you know, the 60,000, I will unload a little bit. So let me get back to my sharing. If you, for example, look at the market, I do have a Bitcoin. I have a lot of, let's hide those. So basically, I think it's pretty, you know, you can see here it has a huge rally, and then it's getting more and more flat. After
Correct.
this, it's getting weak, and it's now it's dropped down to this what they call this
Right.
price center, or whatever they call it, this range. It used to be stay there when it's you know, early of this year, and now it's back there. So I didn't see any, you know, strong power there. It can actually go up at this moment, unless I have a very large volume here 2 days before. Otherwise, I didn't see anything. I think, you know, it still looks it can go up or go
Okay.
down. You know, I don't care if it goes further down. I still have buy orders
You like it,
at the
yeah.
lower place. Yeah, if it goes up, I will, you know, I already purchased something here. I will, you know, unload those along the way. That's my plan.
Got it.
Yeah.
Great.
And I think it's necessary for all the cryptocurrency to figure out, you know, how to get those legally, and also how to integrate that with existing financial systems, because it is a very fast evolving financial asset. It has so many things going on. Like I shared with you, I know they are talking about, you know, perpetual option. You know, they already have perpetual futures. They are going to have the perpetual option, and then they are going to have also, I know the some exchange of the cryptocurrency. They started trading the logs futures of, you know, they got into the conventional financial futures world, but just use the cryptocurrency as the base currency. That's very interesting. And they use I think the Feds published you know, once a month the index of the log price as the reference index, and just trade those. That's too many development every day. Some I think some of the South America countries already legalized it as a legal currency. I know, somewhere else they are banning it or they are applying a very heavy tax on it. So I think, we need to figure out what we want to do with that, especially for the major economy bodies around the world. And after that, it can, get more stabilized, and maybe it will get opportunity to continue to, relay. This is a good time. And also people talking about once it get down, a lot of people sell it. So it helps the cryptocurrency to spread more. People, didn't have opportunity to buy it. Now it's much cheaper. So it might have opportunity to get into it. So it's in more people's hands. Definitely a good thing. That's just my view of it.
Excellent. Yeah. Very valid point, Sean. Thank you.
Sean?
Sean, I have a question for you.
Oh, sure.
Do you ever think Bitcoin or any crypto will forever replace fiat currency? And how long do you think it'll take countries and central banks to kind of adapt to that?
I don't think it will actually, because no government want to lose power, right? No one wants to lose control. It's like a very funny story. I just share with you briefly. I was a mentor. I am currently a mentor of a high school students who trying to get an intern, who basically asked me what he should say, and he did a mock interview. What he said is, once I join your firm, I can help you find a lot of errors in your system, and I can help you, crack those. So you have a very beautiful system, very, much better system. I was laughing at him. So it's like, no government wants to have cryptocurrency to replace the fiat currency, right? So they lose control of everything. I don't think that would happen, but it does have a basis to exist because, people believe it's decentralized and it can, store value and work as a currency to, transfer and to divide infinitely, all those properties it has. And I think, somehow people like this high tech and innovative way. So it's gained some support, and it has some basis there. So what I think is it will coexist for a long time. And along the way, the government will figure out how to deal with it. And then it just become a alternative asset to invest. So that's my view. Yeah.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
Yeah.
What do you think of Riot? Riot is the blockchain company.
Which one?
Riot.
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 Okay. RIOT. I'm not familiar with them actually. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not sure. They're majorly doing the mining business, right?
They're a blockchain company.
I think some of the companies doing mining business, they have a lot of mining machines. Yeah, I'm not familiar with them. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. If there's no other questions, it's 6 o'clock. So it was wonderful. We had about an hour. Again, if there's no other questions, any comments, I'll again want to appreciate you being part of our community, and I'll thank you for your patience changing the day, and thank you for all your great inputs and questions and sharing your experiences. And with that in mind, I'll actually look forward to seeing you in 2 days. Tomorrow, I can't believe it's already Friday. So we'll have our regular weekly market analysis on Saturday, the same time at 2 o'clock. And with that in mind, have a prosperous week, and I'll look forward to seeing everyone on Saturday. Thank you again.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ramin.
Thank you, Ramin.
Okay, thank you, Ramin.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.